Shoutouts is, I honestly probably shouldn't be doing this because I'm sick, but here we are anyway, doing a shoutouts video. So yeah, let's get into it. This week, we have a new Instagram follower because I've started posting on Instagram slightly more regularly again. Man, this is hard to do by yourself. I don't know how many of you out there, tried and run any sort of content creation outlets, but this is a very difficult thing to do by yourself. I don't know how many of you know that, but over on Instagram, we have Hardy's Games, at Hardy's Games following over there. Thank you very much, nerds, for the follow. On the main YouTube channel, we have Silent Night with a K. Thank you very much for the follow. I really dig your avatar picture too, because it's Johnny Mnemonic, and I don't know how many people understand that, but Johnny Mnemonic is one of my favorite science fiction movies for all of the wrong reasons, except for the fact that William Gibson, wrote the script, which is all of the reasons to love it. But yeah, and Keanu Reeves, I mean, that's a great reason too, but the movie itself is really bad, and I love it anyway. So yes, thank you very much, Silent Night. Also, El Ricky Mandujuano, thank you very much for the follow over on the main channel. Over on the second channel, we have Something New 27, Arik Lopez, and Drew Tucker all following over there. If you followed within the last week, and honestly, it takes me so long to edit these shoutouts videos, it might have been 2 weeks ago or even 3 weeks ago that all of these followers happened. But if you have followed and I didn't call out your name just now, a couple of things might have happened. Either you followed much more recently than I recorded this video, or you have your settings to private. So this is everyone who doesn't have their settings to private. Thank you very much for the follow. If you want to shout out, if you want to join the conversation, if you want to talk in the mail section, then you're going to have to leave a comment on one of the videos and let me know you exist. Speaking of comments on the videos, let's go to the main YouTube channel for some viewer mail. All right, so viewer mail on is it last week's episode? It might have been 2 weeks ago episode, the main episode, Shaking It All Up, DC plus the Winchesters and Other Conversations. Yeah, I think that was 2 weeks ago. We have El Ricky Mandujuano. New to the channel, keep up the hard work. See, this guy gets it. Thank you very much, Ricky. Yeah, it is definitely hard work, and I'm doing my best, so I appreciate it when people recognize that this is hard work and they like that I'm doing it. Then we're going over to the secondary channel because we have a number. All right, so I need to address something. One of the verboten videos, we have 2 verboten videos on the second channel because it's basically just the same nonsense in the comment section, while one of the comment sections has pretty well died out, and that was the Orville Peck video. I did a reaction to Orville Peck's song. I don't remember the song off the top of my head, where I said that it sounds like he's using auto-tune for a very small section of the song. I still stand by it. Having heard him sing the song live, also having analyzed with many different audio interfaces the song itself, I still think that there is just the ever so small bit of auto-tune in one very small phrase in that song that happens about 3 or 4 times. So that's not the verboten video that we're talking about. The other verboten video that is on the secondary channel is the Brent Hines video. Brent Hines from Mastodon said some stuff about David Draymond from Disturbed and didn't get canceled for it. And that was the point of that video. But it seems that the metal, at least a small contingency of the metal community, a small vocal contingency of the metal community, of which I count myself. I am very much a part of the metal community. I'm a big metalhead. I like all of the heavy stuff. I definitely like Mastodon much more than Disturbed, but everyone is thinking I'm trying to defend Disturbed's music, when really that video is about the fact that Brent did not get canceled. People are missing that, and I don't understand why. It's probably because they only listen to like the first half of the video and they don't actually wait until I get to the point. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I need to get to the point sooner. Either way, it's just, it's a little disturbing how many people are like, Brent was right. He should be able to say whatever he wants. I don't disagree with that. Matter of fact, I explicitly say something along those lines in that video. I don't say that he was right because I think calling people that word that he called David Draymond is a little excessive and should only be done when you legitimately are trying to pick a fight or trying to, elicit a reaction. That is the only justification I could see to use such a word, and not just because you're an edgelord like Brent Hinds. Brent Hinds is a riff god, makes amazing music, and is kind of a douchebag. So that being said, let's get into the actual viewer mail for the second channel, shall we? All right, so last week I posted a video, a short-ish video about the new Velma controversy that I honestly recorded about 3 weeks ago when it was relevant. And so it elicited a couple of responses either way, even though I posted it a little late, and I apologize. Again, one-man band, it makes things difficult. So we got 2 comments to talk about on that video. The first one comes from Gaki Devotee 86. Gaki Devotee says, the speed lines are incredibly annoying. Yes, I agree. So originally, the reasonably nerdy segments were only supposed to be shorts. They were only supposed to be 30 seconds long, or 30 seconds or less even. Though some of them go to about a minute, but either way, under that kind of time constraint, the speed lines are less annoying. However, when it becomes, a 2-minute video, it's something a little bit longer, then yeah, 100% agree the speed lines are annoying. I thought that maybe making them much less visible would help. It didn't. So going forward, the reasonably nerdy segments will be different in their presentation as far as those speed lines go. The speed lines will still remain because there are definitely going to be times where we do a reasonably nerdy that is still under a minute long, so it can be cut for the shorts channel. But they will not be the entire length of the video. They won't even likely be the entire length of the short video. So that's all going to be happening with the second season. I don't foresee any reasonably nerdy segments happening between now and the second week, or the next 2 weeks. So that is that. And then the next one is honestly super duper long. It is from user named Switch209 Gaming. The Switch 209 Gaming says a lot of things. I'll post the thing on the screen right now so that you can see it. But just know we're not going to be reading this whole thing. Basically what they say, because again, we're dealing with Velma, and the issue with Velma is, the issue that most people are taking anyway with Velma is kind of twofold. One is that they race swapped Velma, and so Velma is now a Middle Eastern or Indian or some other ethnicity and no longer a white character. And then the other issue that people are taking is that Velma is now gay. And so the point that I was making in that is because Mindy Kaling, who is the showrunner for this new Velma series, who is the person who made the decision to make these changes, and then they're changing Shaggy into a black character. There's not even having Scooby in this Scooby-Doo related series. And so the trailer that we got is very much a troll on the actual fandom of things that are like Scooby-Doo. It's a hardcore troll on people who actually care about watching these things. Because generally speaking, people who care about watching these things, the consensus is if you're going to create a character of some sort of other ethnicity besides what the original character is. So if you're going to try and change the ethnicity, you're going to try and change something major about this character, why even try and use that character at all? Why not just create a brand new character? So the point that I was making was she's obviously trolling us. This trailer is very obviously trolling the fandom. And so anything that you can say is just going to, quote unquote, prove her right with this troll. So ignore it. If we don't watch this series, then nobody's going to care. It's not going to make any money. It's not going to do anything for HBO Max. And so Mindy Kaling is not going to be asked to do a second season. So what Switch 209 Gaming has to say is effectively, yes, I agree, but we must push back. We must not let these things stand. We must have ideals. We must have we must take the moral ground that we are given and prove to them that we are right. To which I say, I agree, generally speaking, that yes, when somebody is trying to push nonsense agendas and do things that don't make sense because simply because they want to be a troll, there's two different ways to approach that. If they're just doing the agenda thing, if they're just trying to say, well, it's better because diversity, because of diversity, then yes, push back. Absolutely push back. Let's make it a point to, poke holes in the theories, poke holes in the reasoning of people who try and push this kind of ideology, because that should not stand. Originality above all else. If you're going to create a new character, create a new character. Don't slap new characteristics on an existing character, because then you're alienating everybody. Yes, that should be done 100%. However, because of the setup, because it is a trap, we need to not engage the trap. That's the point. That's the second option. Option number 2 is just don't engage. Do exactly like they threaten to do all of the time. And, well, I'm just not going to, you don't like it, don't watch. There was an interesting comparison along those lines in the diatribe that Switch 209 posted, comparing all right, so Matt Walsh was on some talk show. I can't even think right now. Matt Walsh was on a talk show, and he was talking with other people about what is a woman, and the college professor said, well, why do you care so much? And 209 tried to say that my saying, just don't watch it, is equivalent to why do you care so much? And I would beg to differ very, very heartily. So why do you care so much is trying to imply that you have ulterior motives for trying to change this. Oftentimes when this tactic is deployed, it's somebody who's trying to insinuate that you, this person who wants this thing to change, actually are this way. So like when somebody is adamantly against gay people, then the implication is, well, then you must be gay. That is not at all. I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to watch Velma. I don't think anyone should watch this. I don't think people of color who want more representation in the entertainment world should watch this, because this is doing them a disservice more than the original fans, because the original fans still have decades and decades and decades of the original content to watch. This is taking that and perverting it into something that it isn't. Instead of adding to it, you're just detracting from it. And so the two are not equal. This is not me saying, well, why do you care so much? This is absolutely me saying, ignore it and it will go away. All right, so I think that is, oh no, we have one more. I'm sorry, we have one more comment. This one comes from the He Is Legend music suggestion from the beginning of October. So Drew Tucker commented on the He Is Legend suggestion, and Drew Tucker says, got a sub and a like from me. Anybody who can drop Black Unicorn in conversation, LOL. Been watching these guys since they were playing for free in church basements. Nobody runs a pit like Skylar. I have seen the He Is Legend once, and it was not the greatest experience for me. I love He Is Legend. I think He Is Legend puts on a hell of a show. I want to say, and I could be very much conflating this with a different show that I went to, because other bands that I like that are less metal, quote unquote, oftentimes will go on tour with big metal bands, and when they come to the middle of the country, usually you get a lot of these edgelord types who are like, it's not metal, that's not what I want in my metal, which is something that's going on right now in that Mastodon video comment section. But so they'll boo, and He Is Legend, again, if I'm remembering this correctly, because I am in my sick funk, but He Is Legend got booed. I loved the set that they did. Either way, it was great, and I want them to come back now that much more people love them. I think it was round about the time that Black Unicorn was the new record. Yeah, I'm getting blinked at, so we got to cut this off now. Thank you very much, nerds, for commenting. If you want to join the conversation, be sure to comment as well. We'll see you in the next one before we go. Always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.